Coming to you from the M&M Exterior Studio in Knoxville, Virginia, this is Flushing It Out with Samantha Spittle, the introvert's extrovert. She talks to people so you don't have to. For now.
I'm just gonna tell this treadmill story only really quickly, only because it's about the gym.
It's fine.
But
You're not in a rush, girl.
But because it's about a really embarrassing moment, so I know you love those. You love
only if people want to tell. Everyone always
yeah.
thinks they have to tell it, and I'm like, no, that's just my window to break down.
Sure,
like, that's my in,
to
make you feel comfortable about telling
that's
me.
That's how you
any
make
story.
me belong, right?
Yes.
Tell your really embarrassing story.
Yes, like I'll tell you mine, and then you just tell me whatever you want to tell me. You don't have to tell me embarrassing, but of course I will hear an embarrassing story.
So I was thinking about these as I was trying to think of different. I don't know that they're going to be like any grand aha moments your listeners might be.
I already had one.
Okay, good. We're good then. Check.
Yes.
So two things that I find interesting as I was writing this stuff. So it's funny how when you have to take time to prepare, I suggest everyone prepare like they're going to be on your show one day.
Okay, perfect.
Really,
love it.
because
all right, listeners, get on that.
Right. Just prepare like you're coming on to Flushing It Out and start thinking about things that you've heard in the podcast, because I went to my room last night for 3 hours and I just sat. Yeah.
To prepare for this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just because I needed the quiet time because I was really busy yesterday.
Yes.
And I had things but I just like all this stuff started coming in because I'm 50 now.
Yes.
There's like some cool stuff that happens in my head that wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. So I suggest everyone prepare because it really lets you deep dive into your stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe the things you thought you were hanging on to, like my treadmill story, aren't really like that thing anymore. They were for a while, but not anymore. So treadmill, two stories, treadmill and my dance team experience. So when I was at VCU and I got the nerve up to try out for the dance team, there was never a dance team there before. It was the first year they were going to have one. And I couldn't even believe it. I decided I wanted to do it because of that. Again, I also danced a lot of my life, but I was terrified to be in front of people. I would like find an ankle twist all day long so I didn't have to do a performance. I mean, it's off. Oh yeah. I'd be like, I think I hurt hurt myself. So, yeah, because I didn't want to be in front of people. Terrible. So the rule was if you were trying out for the dance team, I'll try to make these quick, but that's important. So I hope somebody finds like stuff with it.
You're fine, girl. You just
sit back, you guys. Get your coffee. I'm getting ready to tell some long stories.
I love it.
So you had to wear, it was like that 1988 time period of like a booty shorts. So it's kind of like the things you wear under a majorette skirt. So you had to show your body. You had to go wear like a fitted tank top and like a booty short so they could see what you look like. And I knew that because that was the rule that you had to do to go stand in front of all these people and do the thing while they judged you, which is absolutely my biggest nightmare to this day.
That is also
to be judged in front. The only person I want to be judged in front of is the big man upstairs. And hopefully I've done it all right down here by the time I get there. So I knew the rule. And this is what's so crazy when you look back on it. Like, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to draw attention to myself. I was really self-conscious about my thighs. And I was terrified to be at an art school and try out for the dance team because there was a dance school, so there was tons of dancers. So I chose, it took me like an hour. I remember doing this, these Umbro, which was soccer team shorts. Remember those, right? And they were like kind of see-through material. Yeah, and so as a girl, you kind of thought you were sexy when you were wearing those because they were a little bit like, they were soccer shorts, but they were kind of like, sometimes you could see through them a little bit. So you'd wear like your little biker shorts under them. So I'm like, well, I'm going to wear these little booty shorts. Kind of, but they were really my underwear. And I'm going to put these white Umbro things on over them. So then I'm going to pretend like I forgot. This is a legit story. I'm going to pretend like I didn't know that you were supposed to wear this, even though I knew. And I'm going to go to the tryouts in front of like 15 judges, and there's like 150 girls that tried out.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to get up in this line with these Umbro shorts on because I don't want to show my legs. And it'll be fine because I'll just tell them I forgot, and they'll be like, okay. And then we'll move on. Girl. The thing that I was trying to avoid. First of all, I went to all that length. Like everyone else was going to be in there, and surely there was going to be like skinny people, big people, short people, whatever.
You're not the only one insecure.
That was like the thing you had to. Anyway.
But when you were that age, you don't. You could be.
So
they
I
could
thought
tell
it was
you that,
a
but
much
it's
better
only
idea
you.
to be the only girl who showed up in freaking Umbro shorts
to try to hide. You wore the one thing that no one else was wearing.
So much to the point that I'm in the lineup, like round 2 of 30 girls. To have to dance off to get like annihilated one at a time.
Yeah.
That the lady comes up from behind the counter, one of the judges, walks up to me in front of everyone watching and whatever. What are these? Like, it was a scene. So the person who's trying to hide my fat legs from everyone, that doesn't want people to see me so that I can just dance and then not make the team and leave. Now, like, the show has stopped. The spotlight is on me in my Umbro shorts. And she asked me if I can take them off. And I go, no, because my underwear. And I purposely wore underwear so that I could not take my shorts off. Like, this is the length to which I went to try out for the thing I wanted to do. Ridiculous.
Self-sabotage.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. Because I was so freaking insecure.
But but how did you get there, though?
I don't even know that. Like,
because
I
feel like
maybe I was hungover from the night before. I have no idea. Like, that, the fact that I even showed up, I'm not even sure how that happened. But yeah, like, to show up and then do that. Like, what is that even about? I don't know. I probably need therapy for that. But anyway.
Oh, it's good. So, well, this is like, we're starting there. This is like beginner's therapy.
Right. So, somehow, lo and behold, I made the daggone dance team.
Because you're awesome.
All that shenanigans. I don't even know. I would have just fired my tail for wearing the Umbro shorts. I've been like, you are uncoachable. You cannot make this team because you didn't listen.
No, they saw the greatness in you.
But I continued to fall down the rabbit hole because I made it with all dancers that were in school for professional dance. And one girl, I was thinking about this the other day, who was deaf. Mm-hmm. Now, she couldn't hear the music. So who do you think struggled more? Me with my Umbro fat leg shorts on, or the chick that couldn't hear, that had to feel the beat in the wood floor? She had enough nerve to stay in there, and she was always like a touch off beat, like a 16th of a count. But then she learned that she was always off because the teacher would tell her, so she would always start a little bit early. So that's how she corrected her disability, her inability, or her whatever. And what did I do? I think I probably faked a twisted ankle so I never had to perform.
Wow.
That's the first time I ever told that story, by the way. That part. I never told anybody that's what happened. Yeah. So, like, when I look back on that, I'm like, really? Like, you made it with these people. Doesn't mean you're as good as them, but, like, it was the first year. It was a dance team. You got on it. You really want to do it. You love to dance. And you continue. And part of it was because of support and relationships that I had that weren't supportive of it, and so on and so on. That's a whole nother podcast. But that was, like, the meatier part of it. Like, that there was a relationship that I was in at the time who thought all the other girls that were on the team were great, but didn't have much to say to me about it. It's very bizarre, very bizarre. But I allowed that to get in my head and then change the perspective. And meanwhile, the girl who had a hearing problem, who was an amazing, just a great person, always smiling, tried so hard, nailed it. She just freaking nailed it. Yeah. Kept on going. Yeah. So that was like a really big takeaway as an adult, to think back on, like, there are people who the struggle is real. And they continue to stick with it and have that fortitude. So anyway, that's the short story.
However, I will actually give you some credit that your struggle was real too, though. So, because we get into a dangerous place. Comparing ourselves can be good and bad. It can be good to kind of maybe just remind us that everyone has something, but you still, because Allison was on here a few weeks ago and sharing, because her son has a form of dwarfism, and she was saying, like, it's easy for us to put off our problems because other people have problems, but you kind of just touched upon that. Yeah. You said you were dealing with a lot of stuff.
It was, and everybody knows that. Like, you can always compare to someone who's got a bigger problem, then you feel really silly about your problem. But in your life, your reality, your kid sleeping in your bed, me wearing those shorts, that was real for me. Like, it was. Made me sick to my stomach. It was traumatic. Clearly, I'm still talking about it.
No, but that's when you joked about, like, with therapy. But that's why, like, I think it's okay to take a minute and, like, for people to hear this, for you to be willing to share, which I appreciate. Like, and for us to kind of just take a minute and pause on that is, like, to not get sucked into the comparing, because you were struggling, and, like, why were you self-sabotaging? And then, we don't have to go into all this today, but, like, you go into those things.
I was so afraid of, like, not belonging or not looking good enough. And so maybe that's, I think also then what has happened is, because that particular experience, I know what it felt like to feel like I didn't belong even in the tryout. Then I made myself more not belong by doing that thing with the shorts. And then I continued to tell myself, well, now you've made it. That wasn't good enough. Still not enough. You're in there with dancers. Now you're not good enough. You're always going to be less than. So I think now when I go into these fitness rooms, I realize there's a room full of people, and some of them I'm going to be able to see right away, like my friend whose head was down, that they don't feel like they belong. And other people, you don't know they don't feel like that they don't belong until you just pay more attention to them or get to know them. And so I realized that every class that I teach, there's going to be someone who's not feeling like they want to be there or should be there.
But had you not had your Umbro shorts experience,
that's right.
You may not have noticed the girl in the corner.
That's right.
Because you knew she was trying to hide. And now we know, if she really wanted to hide, she shouldn't have been so obvious next to the door. Like, girl, like scoot a few bikes over, make it
go in the other corner, which is completely dark.
Yeah. Right. And then just get up and leave.
That's
but like, so, and I'm wondering too, the woman, like whoever had your back, someone could have said, look at her wearing this. She just wants to stand out. She's just trying to be different. But someone, I bet, saw you and said, she's not wearing those shorts to stand out. She's wearing those shorts to hide.
Yeah.
And they saw that and they knew that.
Right. And
that's for us. Like you said, when we're not in a good place, we don't see that stuff. But that's the thing. You were in a good place in your workout class.
Yeah.
And so you saw her in the corner instead of, why she's being so rude. She's just going to leave my class because it's all about you.
It's all about me. Right.
So that life experience came full circle.
It did. It really did. It really did. So if I can help somebody else have that.
Wow.
And then the next piece is the treadmill story, and then we can go on from there. But so the treadmill was that this is my embarrassing moment that is so like the flip of the short story, right? So clearly like you're trying to hide or hurry up and get out, or like the girl by the door, like you want to leave when you do something embarrassing or whatever. So I was at Lifetime in Centerville, and it was like Easter Sunday, I think. So the gym had a lot of people, and I was running on the treadmill doing like this Tabata sprint workout. So I had the treadmill turned up really, really high. And then you run as fast as you can for 20 seconds. And then you jump your feet off the sides for the 10-second rest. And then you like lever up and drop your feet back down and take off.
That sounds like my personal hell, but please continue.
Well, it ended up being mine too.
Oh my gosh.
So the treadmills are like lined up, and then behind me is like steppers and some other cardio equipment. And there's a good handful of people in there because it was like Sunday before Easter dinner. So I'm getting there, and I've got Christina Aguilera's blaring in my headphones. I got that sucker that you can hear the treadmill is rolling, boy. And I'm like, brrr. I'm not a fast runner, but it makes you feel like you are because it sounds like it is. And then the music is jamming. I'm popping my feet off. And I don't know, so you have to do 8 in a Tabata workout. It's 8 20-second intervals with 10 seconds of rest. And so by the time you get to like 4, your rest just flies by, and you're not always, depending on whatever the thing is that you're doing for the Tabata, you're not quite ready to go back at it again, but you have to because the buzzer goes off. So, and this is just so the truth. So just if listeners, you can just close your eyes and imagine this. And if you've ever seen, well, I'm not going to give it away yet. So.
Oh, we all know where it's going.
You know where it's going.
We know where it's going.
It's like the George Jetson on his treadmill. So I looked that GIF up this morning. Have you seen it? Oh my gosh,
no.
you have to pull it up.
All right, we'll have to pull it. We'll put it on.
It's totally George Jetson on the treadmill. So
I love it.
I'm on like 4 or 5 Tabata. I pop my feet on the thing. Now the story that I told was that my knee gave out.
Yeah.
My knee did not give out. It didn't give out. I'm just going to be honest. It didn't give out. But I had to tell that because it was so embarrassing.
That had to get you over the hump to be able to tell the first time.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
just
right.
Because
like if something physically happens to you when you're like killing it like that, then it's like, okay, it made sense that this is getting ready to happen. But no. So what happened was, I don't think I put my foot completely on the belt. So one foot went on the belt and the other one went on the belt in the part where I was standing. Girl and boy, I shot off the back of that treadmill like a freaking potato coming out of a potato gun. Now, here's the part that makes no sense for the person who then wants to, like, anybody wants to go hide. I grab on. I swear I am not making this up. Hand on the Bible. Grab on to the poles of the treadmill. Now I'm off the treadmill, and it is going at like whatever that Mach speed is that I had it on. And I'm trying, I had to finish my workout. Christina was still singing. So I am pulling my legs to get back up on this treadmill that is like, woo! Mind you, there's like 14 people behind me that I realize were watching this happen on Easter Sunday. I can't get my foot up because I'm way off of it, but I am like almost making my leg. So the end of the treadmill is catching my shin every time.
Gosh!
Both of them.
Oh no.
I don't know why somebody they probably did scream, let go. I think this lady did say because but I had earphones on.
Oh, you were holding on.
Yes, I'm holding on to the
Standing.
poles. Like, no, I'm down. Like the treadmill is like here.
Oh.
My legs are hanging off of the carpet, and I'm trying to drag my leg back up on to step on the treadmill
pull
to get and
yourself-
go.
You didn't
finish
let
my
go
Tabata.
to
I didn't
just let it finish
I'm
shooting
hanging
you
on.
off.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So every time I go to bring my leg back up, the treadmill is on my shins.
Yes. Are you wearing pants or shorts?
No, I'm wearing booty shorts. That was back in the day when I was young and I could wear them. I'm wearing booty shorts.
You can still wear booty shorts,
Oh, no.
girl.
There's a lot of booty. Well,
So there
anyway.
was skin. Oh my
I didn't
gosh.
know this yet. I did not know this. Somehow in
The
my
adrenaline.
mind, I had not even realized that anything was even wrong with me other than that I was humiliated that I fell off the freaking treadmill and that I was still hanging. And part of my head was going, let go. And I wouldn't. I was like in this hyper zone of like endorphins. And I'm like, I've got 3 more Tabatas. Christina's not done. I got to get up here and finish this. I get myself back up. I'm like freaking Terminator. Back up on the thing. And I'm running. And I finished all the rest of my 3 Tabatas. Meanwhile, my shins are on fire. Like I'm like tears are now coming out of my eyes. Not because I'm crying, but because physically like the pain is inflicting tear.
Yes. It's that level of
And I'm
pain.
like, I can't really breathe. I'm like, okay, I've really got to get off. So I like arrow down the treadmill and I didn't even want to look down because they hurt so bad. I was afraid to look. So I
can't believe you finished your
I
workout.
can't either.
I'm still, I'm like, what?
Umbro shorts got back up on that treadmill. Like,
my
don't just
gosh.
run out of the gym and jump in my car. I'm going to stand back up in front of everybody. So I get off the treadmill and I turn around and as I my eyes go from the person that's on the stepper and she takes her headphones off and she's like, I'm a nurse. You need me. I look down and there is like flesh and blood. I literally at this point now I can't walk because now I've seen it. So I'm like bent at the knees and I'm like in the air is stinging it so bad. This trainer comes and he literally like looks like all around the room. Like if anyone sees her, we're going to get sued. And he sweeps me into the room and then I just completely lost it. Like I just start like shaking, like almost in shock. And he's like, what in the hell happened to
whatever
you?
you want.
He's like, what in the hell happened? Where did you come from? And I'm like, on the treadmill. He's like, and I looked down and I mean, it was it was disgusting.
I'm so uncomfortable.
And the people's faces on the
like mine right now. I'm like, oh my, I want to throw up.
The looks on they're on the steppers and they're just like, like they had just seen the scariest Halloween thing ever. I don't even know. It was so bad.
I can't believe you finished.
I mean,
her shins are gone.
Oh
she
my
has
gosh.
no shins left.
I'm not talking about like, I'm being dead honest. Like it's not like I popped off and it's like a little knee.
I can't believe you actually crawled back on and got back to a full sprint
Me either.
while it's going full speed.
No, I know. I think I'm maybe I'm
I
an
had to chime
athlete.
in. Sorry.
I think you are.
I'm an athlete and I didn't even know it.
You are. Hell yeah, you're an athlete.
I just can't. I can't. But I was so freaked, so embarrassed that I'm like, it's kind of like, you know, when you go to, everyone does this. Don't lie that you don't, because I know everybody does.
Right.
You know when you're like walking somewhere, like across the street on the sidewalk, and you trip, and then you start jogging. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe
You trip, but you don't actually fall.
No, you just like stumble over your feet, but then you just break into like a little jog.
Oh. Well, see,
Do you
I don't.
not-
Well,
you
see,
don't do
I don't
that?
jog.
Oh, I
So
mean, like-
I have a different defense mechanism. Mine is I fall, and then I look around like, yeah, did anyone see that? That was
I
hilarious.
don't start jogging. I look around like,
Oh yeah, something was on the ground that made you
who
trip.
put that there?
Right.
Who put that
right,
there?
yeah. So I think like that's
See, you are an athlete because your instinct is to run.
Well, no, it's just to make it like I meant to do that. Like I meant to like have that misstep. Like you're gonna look and see if the
Yeah.
invisible thing is on the ground that you
Right,
tripped
right.
over.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna
Yes.
act like, oh yeah, I was just walking in my heels and I just started to break into a light jog on the just a couple
cause.
steps. And
I'm
then
not a
just-
klutz, I swear. I swear.
I guess I just know, but I'm still just I can't.
So I think I was just so humiliated that which is so like it overcame me. It wasn't really about finishing the workout because I am not that much of a diehard. Like honestly, if I
Yeah.
like smush my finger, I'm like, oh, okay, that's enough of that. Like I think I was just so I didn't want to turn around and see who had just seen that. So I'm like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Meanwhile, it was like it was just like I can't even imagine what that must have looked like to everybody else.
Wait, this woman has ripped the flesh off of her shins,
I'm not over
climbed
it. I
back
can't.
on. There's
I can't.
blood
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
But see, now that's like a sport. That's like the Tough Mudder now. So now it's nothing. Like people.
That was the tough treadmiller.
Yeah, the tough treadmiller. Oh my god. So when you were starting the story, I said, Amy, we all know where this is going.
Where did you think it was going? There?
I thought you were just going to fall off the treadmill
no.
like Taylor
Yeah, I
Swift in her
expected
commercial.
boom, I put a hole in the drywall behind it.
No,
This is so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
We did not know where this story was going.
Oh my gosh.
So the worst part, one of the worst parts was like, then I came home and I had to take a shower.
Oh, no.
And I was in the bathroom like
crying.
Oh. It was so, thank God I didn't need stitches, but it was like.
Oh, bad.
And we had like a formal event we were supposed to go to that weekend, and I had a short dress, and then I had to buy a long thing, and then I had to literally like bandage with, and then put like garbage bags. It was terrible.
Oh my
it was awful. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get like infected and they had to take my legs off. But on a treadmill, like, ooh, imagine the funk that's on those things.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I just like was thinking about that whole story and kind of like where I'm trying to continue to go to now, because I still have that tendency. My self-confidence is certainly better as I've aged, just because I realize the people who care about me care about me. And so the people that don't care about me, they don't not care about me. They're just more concerned about themselves. So I kind of removed like that anything's about whether me or not.
It's not that they don't care about you because you're not, quote, good enough or doing enough or this enough. It's just
they
have
more
their own
concerned
stuff.
with their own self. Yeah, or they have their own stuff.
Yeah.
Is that I'm really trying to like use that treadmill thing as an example of continuing to go forward no matter how hard something is, and to just like literally keep getting back up until you need medical attention.
Don't quit until your shins are literally falling off.
Until like until you need triage or something. I don't know, but like I just thought like
you could also use that as a story of know when to let go.
That's right.
Know when to let go.
That's good. I didn't think about that.
Yes. See, this is my teamwork, girl.
That's
like
right.
Yes. Work hard. Like get back up, keep going. But then also know when to let go.
Don't quit until you need medical attention, but know when to let go. Yeah. So true. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Because there's people we need to let go of. There's people's opinions we need to let go of. There's a lot we need to shed. But, there's also a lot we need to keep getting back up and doing, though.
Ooh, that's such a good balance. Yeah. That's so true.
That's a great story.
aha moment right there.
There you go. That is a great story you need to share. And I think you could wrap all that, because the takeaways for everyone is like, you got to get back up. But,
that's good.
Not at the expense of your own legs.
Shins.
Had they not gone away. I love that.
Yes. So me and the gym have had, our rounds over the past 2 or 3 decades.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I don't run on the treadmill like that anymore.
I could never. This is a random story that doesn't need to make it, but my parents
it's on now.
You know those it's on like a made for TV. It's the infomercial, and it's a chair, and it's like an inflatable thing. You fill it up with air at the beach and you roll it over. Yeah. I don't know. It's just this like, it looks like an inflatable chair, and you just do it. So anyway, the other day we were at my son's baseball game, and there was a, I don't know, 12-year-old type of girl sitting on one. So we're talking about it, and I said, I bought one like that, but I couldn't get it filled up with air. And she said, well, all you have to do is open it up and you just run and it fills up with air. And I was like, I think my problem is I don't run fast enough. So it's just not picking up the air it needs to. It's like, I'm kind of just opening a trash bag.
Like the kite is just like,
whoa. So I'm like, and sure enough, I see her like right up and down, and I'm like, I don't run fast enough.
She's filling up like 20 chairs.
Yes. I'm like, whoop, I can't do that. That's so
that's
great.
Funny. That's
I
funny.
love hearing, thank you for taking us a walk down memory lane and sharing like a window into your beautiful soul.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I just want to let people know to just, if you're the kind of person who shares and is open, just do more of it, because we need so much of it. Like we need so much of it, and there will never be enough, because there's so much other stuff trying to fight against that. So you want to do your podcast, like you just did it, and you're going for it, and you continue to bring these great people on to share. So whatever your little thing is or big thing is, just keep sharing it, because you just don't ever know when. And I know that's cliche too, but it's the truth, and it doesn't hurt to be repeated, because you just don't know when you're going to touch somebody's life. And sometimes you don't ever see it. I mean, that's happened to me too, where apparently someone, and I keep using the gym as a reference, but been in my class for 3 months and finally comes and tells me, after that time period that they almost didn't come back, or they were going to quit, or they'd never been in a gym before, and they stayed because of the experience or the person next to them or whatever. So you don't know that you're having that effect. So you can't live for that. It feels good to get that kind of reinforcement that you're doing a good job back, but you have to trust that you are, because you're not always going to get that feedback back when you need it. Yeah. And then lo and behold, someone will come and share with you like that made a big difference for them. And then that keeps you going like, yeah, people are listening. They're watching. Everyone's watching. People are paying attention. And then just to wrap it into business, and then we'll kind of close with that because you deal with all of us business women here too, that this new business that we're in, aside from the gym, is the first time that I really had to be out around people. I spent the first part of in a different business, and I was in the office the whole time. I never networked. I didn't deal with clients. I didn't sell anything. I don't know how I survived, actually, now that I think about it, at a desk for 20 years without people, but probably because I was teaching so much.
At the gym, yeah.
But one thing that I've just really enjoyed about being in business and how this is also kind of transferred over is so many women helped me feel better about stepping into this realm because they had been doing it for a while, and I was so terrified about it. So I got that, what I've given to people in the gym, I was able to receive from other women who've been out doing it when I was terrified to do it. So that was a really cool feeling to like walk into Team Win or these other environments we've been in, meeting you and just having like souls or people who've been through it or people who are struggling too, figuring it out together. So what I really realized with our business is there's women in business all over the place, and some of them have their own business and it is just them. They do a spa, or they're just an entrepreneur selling coaching, or they work for a company, but they're still women in business. And I love men too, but I can't relate as well to them as I can my own struggles as a female in all these different environments. That being able to encourage women and help them keep going, whether it's through something we sell at work or just being around each other, like whether they use us or not, or whether we, network in the same groups all the time, it doesn't really matter. It's just like we're all kind of coming together. And I'm probably being more lifted up by other people because there's so much more experience out there than I've had. And then whenever I can interject, I do. But just the feeding, the energy that comes from all of those people doing it together, whether you've been in it a lot or not, makes a huge difference. And so I just want to continue to help and be a part of that environment too, because we're doing some cool stuff, and women have to help support their families. I mean, it's harder and harder to exist and make it. And then on top of it, find our passions and be happy about what we want to do. Yeah. So I think it's been a really fun way to figure out how to make business and being a female and your passions like all kind of blend together. And there's just so many of us out there figuring that out together that I really have enjoyed that part of it as well. So,
great. And it's more fun to do.
It is
with together.
It really is. It really is. You don't feel it's the same thing like everything else, right? You don't feel alone. You feel like you belong. Goes right back to that whole like feeling like you belong thing.
And I love what you said about sharing your story, because the tagline for the podcast, she talks to people so you don't have to. I added the for now.
I love that. Because
my hope is that, I always say that listen to the podcast if you don't have time to meet someone for coffee or drinks, or the thought of that is too, I don't want to do that.
Right.
But you get to hear it. But it's that, like you said, you told your embarrassing story to me and Jeremy here in the studio, and then everyone listening. But that's the kind of thing that if we were just having coffee, we would have had the same conversation, you know?
That's right.
And we both would have went away feeling better. And that's the kind of thing, like, you share that kind of stuff, but so many people feel like no one wants to hear that. But yet podcasts would not be popular if people did not want to hear those stories.
Right. That's exactly right.
And it's that if you're not getting it in your daily life, I think that's why people go to podcasts, go to YouTube videos. Like, we're craving connection. But, and yes, if people can get it here, of course, I'm more than happy to oblige. But it's that I want people to have their own coffees and, hangouts with people and, whether it's friends, business colleagues, whatever, but to share just kind of that extra stuff to build the connection.
Couples that listen to the podcast together. It's similar to the way we are just making the podcast.
Yeah.
Where I'll talk to Samantha about everything that happened here today later. We're like, oh, yeah, remember that story where she ripped her shins off on the treadmill?
I'm still not over it. That's like Goonies.
Yeah. But, we'll have a conversation about that, and it'll be interesting, and that's a time for us to connect.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. It gives, it's funny. when he started listening to podcasts, he has like an hour commute now, and he used to not. So he actually is the one who listens to podcasts. I don't really listen to any,
right?
Because I'm not in the car as much, and usually with kids. But I started listening to the episodes he was listening to, so that at the end of the day, when he got home, we could talk about them, because we were feeling like, man, unless we watch a TV show together, there's not a lot of crossover if you're not in life together. And
which just seems like it makes complete sense when you actually take a minute and dissect it. But if you just stand like at a bird's eye view and look at it, like your instant thought is that, boy, that's ridiculous. You are married and share the same life. Why would you not have things to talk about? It's me and my husband all day long. We work together. We're together all the time. And conversation wise, I'm like, what do we really talk about? Nothing.
Yeah, because then you're talking to each other just like coworkers, if you're just talking about work
it's
stuff.
like, or kid problems or money problems. There's like no, like this is like engaging conversation, and it's about other people in the sense that like you get then go, well, I wonder where that really meant. Or can you believe the Umbro short story? Like you're not going to talk about the shorts. You might talk about
and it makes you think of in my life. What in my life have I self-sabotaged? Is there something that I did that I thought, that's for me kind of what I do.
But here's the difference, I think, between like just living life with somebody and what's going on here with the podcast is we have this window of time to actually sit down, and it's purposefully having a conversation. So,
and you don't,
but I don't think
do that
we
in
have.
marriage.
You don't have time at work to have a conversation. You've got to go do this. You've got to go do that. I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. And I don't think that there's a lot of people out there that purposefully take the time. Like you took 3 hours to think about what you were going to come and talk about on the podcast today.
Right.
I think that people probably in general need to take more time away from their phones and away from the TV and away from everything to just be with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Be with themselves first, because we've gotten so technologically mutated, I think, that like if you're as old as I am, you came up being with yourself, because we didn't have all that stuff. So I played with sticks and mud pies and all that stuff with my kids. We didn't have phones and games. So we went to the park with a bag of Cheerios, and I pushed them down the slide and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to take some time, which was why this was so fun, because I just kind of like the going back 50 days to countdown. I got to just go through me, because you forget who you are sometimes. You're so busy doing all the other and being involved in everyone else's lives. And then from a marriage perspective, and this could be like a whole nother podcast for you guys, but
love it.
I mean, like, it is so needed, because sure, I do believe some people outgrow each other, shouldn't be married. I don't believe in staying married for the kids. I don't believe in staying married just because you said it was forever. I don't personally believe in that, because I think that can be really toxic to two humans. I mean, just to say you're doing it like that. What's the point? The guy didn't mean it for that. I don't believe, just to say you stayed married, but you're miserable. You can't stand each other. Your kids are ruined because of it, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But so many marriages can be better and be saved if they just had time. And I'm sure this happened to me last night. My husband doesn't listen to podcasts. So that's good. Don't y'all tell him either, in case
this is our secret, y'all.
But we can cut it out if you want.
No, because I think it's important, because maybe it'll inspire other people.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like with the two of you, and this may have helped it, that do you ever, like, Jeremy, do you ever start a conversation and it's like, I'm wearing this ring that you made. So let's say it's something that you made, right? Like a thing that you did. And you're like excited. It has nothing to do with work. It has to do with the kids. It's like something cool that you did. And you sit down and talk to Sam about it, and she's into it too. Or like something with the podcast, right? And for like 5-10 minutes, you have the other person's attention. And you know, just that feeling you get is like, almost like when you're in love and you're 17, right? It's just like, oh, they love everything about me. And you're not talking about the relationship, you're talking about you. And there's this feeling that comes over. And then all of a sudden, a kid comes in, or worse, you turn to do the dishes, or he picks up the remote. And then it's kind of not abruptly ends, but it just doesn't end. Like you're not finished.
Yes.
And the feeling, you want to hang on to that moment for so much longer, because it brings you guys together in such a beautiful way. Yes. And you're like, oh, no, because when you were a kid or young and in love, you were probably out doing something. You were laying on a blanket on the grass, or you were at the beach. Or
you were on the telephone for 5 hours at night.
Asleep and like, oh, yeah.
Right, because you just can't get off the phone. Oh. There is nothing more important.
That's right. Conversation.
Yes.
And I do believe that
and it's just silence sometimes.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I got nothing to talk about, but I'm not getting off the phone.
Right. Just like, don't you remember, like, someone would fall asleep. Sometimes you could hear the other person. You know?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, are you asleep? And you get close to them. Are you asleep? Are you asleep? Oh, what? No, I'm here.
What?
I'm here.
Fine.
Right.
Oh,
I
well, that
remember
still
when Jeremy and I
happens.
started, when we started dating, we were long distance.
At 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, exactly. 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
We would take our phones. Like, I remember showering and like having it on the sink.
Yes.
Because, we were long distance. So like, if we were getting ready for work, that was our only time to talk in the morning real quick. And then we couldn't talk all day. So it was like washing my hair, but trying to keep my head near the phone.
Or if you hadn't called yet and they were going to call and you were in the shower, the phone came too with the long cord under the door.
Yeah.
So that phone rang, you were getting out of that shower sweaty, soapy and wet
Yes.
and picking up that phone.
So funny.
And so like that still lives in most of us, I think, that came, I don't know about the new people because maybe their brains are wired different now. They don't have that same sort of connection.
Well, even if you think of generations before, it was the love letters that we talked about with Jen.
Yeah.
Where like it's Saturday. I get a love letter from my distant love every week.
Yeah.
And so I'm out at the mailbox waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to read like, today I went to the store and then we like the silliest trivia things, but it just brings you together so much. And so I just feel like this is so cool that you guys, because you've told me a couple, and we haven't seen each other a lot since all this has started, but you told me that he was involved and ended up, working out like it's more of a 3-person thing because he doesn't hide behind the cloud. And I've heard you interject like you're doing.
Yeah. I feel like I need to hide behind the screen of the laptop and just kind of peer over.
No, you have a wonderful energy. So it's not at all
good.
not at all like, I didn't feel like, oh, there was a guy in the room and he's going to listen. Like, I just felt like, oh, it's just, we're hanging out in your living room, like just chilling. So really that
Thanks.
vibe that you put off is very,
Thanks.
very cool. And it's actually for me kind of nice to have a man in there because it just adds another element. I mean, it's still got a little teary, which is kind of girly,
like
but
that.
it just adds that.
I bet he got a little teary too.
You teared up because you were laughing so hard that I fell on that.
No, that part is he may have teared up. I like teared up from pain of like empathetic.
Yeah, I
pain.
wrote a note. Have you ever tried? Do you water ski? Have you ever water skied?
No, I have not.
Have you ever tried?
No.
So
I think
typically,
that's
when
why.
somebody's trying water
God.
skiing for the first time,
That's
I
what
didn't even
happens,
think
right?
of that. Yeah,
they're
you
holding
fall.
on, and the boat's pulling, and they just go face first over the skis.
but they don't.
Half the people never let
Let
go.
go.
So it's just
never
dragging.
let go. And they're just submarining, and it's just you can
Waterboarding all
they're
over.
getting a face full, and their sinuses are full of lake water.
And you're like, let go.
You're screaming from the
Yes.
shore like, let
Yes.
go. Yeah, I know. I'm sure that's what everybody was saying behind me that day. They had to be.
Right.
They're like, she's something.
There's something in us that just can't let go.
That's
I
right.
don't-
That's right.
Like you said,
Yeah.
you were thinking, I'm sure, well, just let go,
Yeah.
but you couldn't
I
do
can.
it
I can get back up.
because you wanted to get back up
Oh,
onto
so-
the
yeah,
ski.
yep, and finish it. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
There's
right.
so much in that
There
story,
is
man.
so much in that
you need
story.
to
I gotta
like
unpack that
whatever you want to
Yeah.
train
All
on.
these
You can
years-
use that.
I've
is
never, all these years, Samantha, that side of it never came to me.
Yeah.
It was always that it was so bizarre that I was trying to get back up because that's so not my nature. Like to continue to try to embarrass myself. It is my nature to get back up from a, life fall. But the let go part, I never thought of it. I never thought of that side, which is just really important because that's the other half of our life, right?
Yeah.
It's like learning to get back up, and the
Yes.
other half is letting go.
Letting go.
That's about all there is.
No
Let
one-
go and start over.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's a whole nother.
That is so good.
That was really good.
You're well. I can't wait to come to that talk when you give it.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to be up there beside me because
yes,
that's the whole
girl.
thing.
Oh my gosh, that needs to be your next 20-minute presentation.
That's right.
I feel like there needs to be a cartoon of what actually happened, like running behind you.
Yeah, the Jetson one with him just like going on. You gotta pull
Oh
that
my
up.
gosh, that's so good. Well, thank you so
You are
much.
so welcome. Thank
You're
you
the
for
best.
having me. You guys are the best.
And that's a wrap for now.
Thanks for listening to Flushing It Out with Samantha Spittle. Music provided by twinmusicom.org. Song titled Night at the Dance Hall. Sound editing by me, Jeremy Spittle. A special thanks to our studio sponsor, M&M Exteriors. Visit their website at mmexteriors.com for all of your roofing, siding, and gutter needs in the Northern Virginia area. Visit our website at flushingitout.com and be sure to subscribe. This has been a Spitfire production.
That was the greatest thing I've ever heard.